Welcome to the BlueBurst sessions from A2K Cloud. Today we'll be talking about Bluebeam, specifically about Toolchest creation. In today's agenda, I'm going to talk about us, then I will introduce you to Bluebeam Review, and then I will show you Bluebeam Review in action, focusing on Toolchest creation. I'll show you how to make a Toolchest. I'll tell you the difference between the properties mode and the drawing mode, creating count and sequencing tool, snapshot to change color of the markup, then creating a CAD-like tag, and how to create a legends. At the end, if you have any questions, you can send me as a chat, and I will try to answer them as best as I can. To start with, Cloud A2K is a company which fosters innovation through delivering software and hardware solutions, consulting, training, development, and managed services. Our highly knowledgeable and industry experienced staff from the architecture, engineering, construction, infrastructure, and manufacturing sectors enhances our customers' organizational capabilities to deliver on project outcomes and differentiate from the competition. So about myself, my name is Bikal Kimire. I'm an architect by background, and I work as a technical consultant for A2K Technologies. I've been a Bluebeam user for since 2014. I am certified Bluebeam technical consultant. So Bluebeam Review is project efficiency and collaboration solution built for the construction industry. It has proven to increase revenue, reduce cost, and minimize risk. So Bluebeam Review is a PDF creation, editing, and markup software. Bluebeam Review keeps teams on the same page through the design process, helps move the project forward during construction, and preserves important project data through completion and beyond. The power of the PDF is the ability to contain metadata, hyperlinks, bookmarks, file attachments, images, spaces, 3D data. So it's a container of information. So one file enabling multiple workflows such as quantity takeoff, collaborative review, drawing management, document management, field issues. So without wasting any time, let's see Bluebeam Review in action. So for today's presentation, I'm going to use, how do I hide this? I'm going to be using Review 2018.5 Extreme version. So when you run the Bluebeam, this is the interface of the Bluebeam that you will see. The interface of the Bluebeam can change depending on what profile that you're using. So the toolbars on your side, the Toolchest that you see, and the settings of your panels, they can all be changed by choosing a different profile or creating your profile. Okay. By default, AutoCAD comes with, Review comes with Review Advanced Quantity Takeoff Field Issues, but you can create your own profiles as you want. For example, I have this recently created profile for MEP, and if I click this, the whole profile will change to show some MEP stuff. Let's go back to our normal profile. Okay, so for today's presentation, I'm going to use a typical structural drawing file that my colleague has created. So I believe everybody knows about the interface of Bluebeam Review, and as we are focusing on the Toolchest, I'm not going to spend more time on the interface, but just wanted to tell you that there are like left panels, right panels, and the bottom panels. And this blue light that you can see here, if you click over it, you can then minimize or maximize those panels. Okay. So on these panels, today I'm going to talk about Toolchest. In these panels, we have a lot of different things, such as Toolchest and thumbnails and so on. I usually prefer to have my properties window always open on the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make it, sorry, to the right. I'll just keep it always on. Okay, so that's good. So these are our typical structure for floor plan of a factory. And we have already got few of the tool chests already on the drawing. When you start any project, it is a good thing to have at least 80% of the markup tools that you may need already created beforehand, and the 20% you can create them as you need. So at least 20% should already be here. It will help you, effectively work on your drawings. Review is not a CAD software, but setting up standards like CAD is important for consistency, which further improves productivity and, very importantly, predictability. So you need to have all these set up beforehand and standardized. So the first thing I'll do is I've got a few of these tool sets opened, which you get by default when you have a review for the first time. So I'm just going to switch off those things that I don't really need today. So I'm just going to go up there, and I'm not going to use those general measurement and engineering review. A few of them. So I might just keep those my tools and recent tools. So recent tools shows up any markup that you recently created, but if you want to use it in future, you might have to drag it to your my tools. Otherwise, they seem to disappear, or you can just go there and then clear the recents. And what I'm going to do now is create my new tool sets for today's exercise. So for that, I'm going to go into my manage tool sets. In the manage tool sets, I'm going to create a new one. I might add a new one in the new location and call it A2K demo set. Okay, so once I select the title, it's new. It will ask me for the path. It will ask me if I want to show that tool sets in all the profiles. If you don't want to show them on all profiles, keep it unchecked. But if you want that tool chest to be visible in all different profiles, then you can tick here as well. So the path by default, it will try to save in your default tool chest location, which is inside the review. But for now, I'm just going to keep it outside. Oops, sorry. Sorry, I'm using the wrong tools now. It's okay, and then it will ask you for the location. Go back to your desktop, and I'm just saving it on the desktop for now. But usually it will save inside the default location. So once you create your new tool sets, so as soon as I create it, you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, that's your tool sets. And usually if you want to make it go all the way top, you can always click on this and bring that tool sets all the way to the top if you want to. Okay. Or if you want to delete any tool sets that you don't use here anymore, I can just select and delete this. So tool sets can be created, can be imported, can be exported, or so I'll show you how you can import and export tool sets, or how you can add the tool sets. But for now, we just created one blank tool sets, and I press OK. That's your blank tool sets. Sorry, this one is a blank tool sets. I'm just going to unlock it. So the next thing I'm going to show you is, so this is a typical drawing line that we have created for construction drawings. And I would like to use it again and again in the future. So I just want to put that line into my newly created A2K demo tool sets. Okay, to add them, there are a few different ways. One, the easiest one that I find is just to right click on the markup and then go to add a tool chest, and your demo tool sets is already here. So I just click on this, and it adds onto your tool sets. Now, when it adds here, it adds as in a drawing mode. So when you click on it, it just brings a duplicate copy of the same line. But because with the lines, I need to be able to manipulate the lines and change the size and so on. So I need to change that into properties mode. To change it into properties mode, there are again few ways of doing this. If you just look on this side, this is how it looks like in the drawing mode. But if I change that into properties mode, the icon will change. So if I right click here and go to properties mode, now you can see something like this. Okay, that means it's a properties mode. So I can then go and draw any lines, and it will keep that same properties. Okay, so that's the difference between properties mode and the line mode and the drawing mode. In drawing mode, it comes as it is. In properties mode, it will just retain the properties. Okay, so sometimes you might need to make them as a drawing mode. For example, this one here is my wall tag, and this one I want to keep it as a drawing mode. So if I want to add it into my tool chest, I can just right click and add to tool chest, or I can just go to my properties tab on the top and then add to tool chest as well. I can do it from here. Okay, or I could have done it from going on the second properties. Same thing here as well. Okay, so what happens is the other way to add to the tool chest is if you draw anything on your drawing. Let's see a rectangle. As soon as you put something on the drawing, it will come onto in your recent tools. Okay, and from the recent tools, you can just drag anything to any other tools to be able to use it in the future like that. Okay. Okay, so the next one. So once you have created the tool, you can, before you create it, you have to specify proper subjects and so on, the color, field color, and the line type, and so on. So once you put it into Toolsets, the next time, if I want to draw it in the drawings, I can just click and click. That's fine. Construction is right. The next thing that I've got is a volume tool. So it gives me the volume of the concrete or whatever I'm going to put in my drawings. So that is that one I created from using volume with this tool here. So the default ones that we get with Bluebeam needs to be formatted, or needs to be created so that we can use it in our projects. So the next one is a volume tool. So what I'm going to do is I've already got it here. So I want to add it into my tool sets. So I'm going to add them into my demo process. This is how it comes. Again, it's coming as a drawing mode, so it will just be identical to what I have before. So again, I want to change that into properties mode. If I double click on it, okay, it also changes to properties mode. So if I double click on this tool now, see now the icon had changed and it's become a volume mode. Okay, so now if I click on this and if I go and draw a rectangle here, it gives me the volume of 170 millimeter thick concrete. It gives me the area and the volume of that. Same way, if I want to find something else, maybe the whole entire place or something, then it will also give me different areas. I want to, let's say, add this much. That gives me the areas of that location. Okay, so that is a volume markup tool that we created. The next one is again our wall tag. So the wall tag is going to be in the drawing mode. I've already added to my drawings, and if I now click on it and start putting in my drawings, it will give me this option and to show you what kind of wall it is. Click this, that, and put them into drawings. Okay. If I want to change them, I can just double click and change that to something else. If it is a different type of wall, I can do that and say it's 175 or thick. So I can individually amend them. Okay. It will just keep the same properties, same background, and so on, but the text can be amended. So any questions so far? No? Okay. Okay. Now, what I've got here is a box, a rectangle, a line, and just the two text. Okay. So to create a wall tag tool, what I did was I created a rectangle, drew a line, then put those two texts in the middle. Then I changed my box or rectangle to have different properties. Okay. So once that I done, once I do that, then I can something like that. Okay, so I just created that kind of box. Then what I did was I changed those text to different color. Oh, sorry, some box color text. Text here. Okay, that's fine. Change the text color. Then what I did was I selected all of this. Then right click and created a group out of it. Okay. So once you create a group, then they are easy to manipulate. I can then drag the group and add to the Toolchest and add to my demo tool sets. Okay. Or I can just click here and bring it here as well. Okay. That's how I can add those group as well. Before bringing anything to the Toolchest, make sure you have amended subjects, author, and things like that. So I should have. So if you want to delete something, you can just press delete. If you have a group, change that to maybe wall tag 82K. Then next time, if you add that to Toolchest, then every time I put it, it will get that kind of, it will come up with the subject as well. And it's easy then to find in your markup here as well. Okay, come on the wall tag. Okay. So next thing is a sequence. Again, there are a few different ways you can create a sequence tool. First of all, let's start with the simple text box. Usually people like to draw a text box first and then put the text inside and then create a sequence. That's a good way. Or if you want to do it really easily, I can just draw a text box like this. And I'll just type something as a sequence. Done that. Okay. Change that to something like this. Maybe then change my line width of the text box to 1 to give the impression that it's a box outside. Change the fill color and give something, maybe something blue, like this. And I will call it as a inspection sequence. Oh, not right now, actually. Okay, so once that is done, I'll just again put it to sequence here. Then on here, I can change that to be a sequence. Okay, so right click and then define sequence. I can just say prefix is INS, and the start with 1 and the increment is 1. So that's fine for me. Or you can start from 10 and then choose the increments. You can also put the suffix if you want to, but for me this is fine. Okay, so once that is done, I should have now click here, instance 1, instance 2, instance 3. So I can put those kind of instances in the drawings. It automatically then keeps on adding. So I want to talk to you a bit more about first of all, about the markups. So Markup provide a method for annotating your PDF. They are part of the PDF, but not part of the underlying content. So these markups are part of the PDF, but they are not the underlying content, such as this drawing. Because of this, they can be moved and edited much more readily than PDF contents. Markups are always separate from the content of the PDF, but then they can be associated with different layers if desired. Okay, so for example, this one here, volume, is under different layers. So go there, this concrete volumes, switch off, switch on. Yeah, we are not talking about this, but that's why I'm trying to just quickly go through some of those things. So the tools to create and edit markups can be found in the markup and measure groups of the command bar, in the text and shape toolbars, and in the Toolchest tab. In addition, most markup tools have the convenient keyboard shortcuts. Each time the markup tool is selected and used, the annotation is stored in the recent tool section of the Toolchest for easy use. And they usually have this number as well on the side. See, so all the markup that you use usually have this number on the side. If I, for example, this one is a 1, if I click 1, that will start the same thing here as well. Okay, so it's very useful how it's done. And about the Toolchest, Toolchest is a convenient location where users can find the toolsets used for marking of PDF documents in review. So all toolsets have a .btx extension. Files can be copied to the network drive or sent directly to the user. So you can send your toolsets that you have created as an email attachment, for example, as a file, as a BTX file that can be double-clicked, and it will automatically import in the computer, or it can be done through the manage toolsets dialog box. If the users will be sharing a standardized toolsets, you can link its location in network location to which they have adequate folder permission as well. So what I'm going to do is I've created a few of them here now. So the next thing I'm going to do is last thing is to create my count markup, and after that I will show you how you can import and export your existing tool sets. So the last one here is something called this one. It's factory lighting, and if you want to make this as a count tool, what you can do is you can create a circle and a line, and then make it as a group. Then once that group is created, if you want to, you can add a text on top, like to be decided or something like that at the top, if you want to put the text. If not, you can just select the box like this, and then right click, and again add to Toolchest, and A2K demo sets. So once I've added here, now what I need to do is change that into a count so that we can count them. Okay, so let me just change that subject to be factory lighting. And if I now go there and then say create count, this will become now count 2. Okay, and you'll see that the count measurement has been added to it. Okay, so if I click on down and if I start putting it in the drawings, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 lights, maybe a few more. So once I put it in there, I can see that the counts have been created. If I select that, factory lighting, okay, so it needs to be switched off, the count. Okay, so it's created here, count measurement to factory lighting. Okay. Oh, subjects needs to be changed beforehand. Okay, so 11 of them. So if I keep on clicking on this, it will keep on adding to it. Okay, so okay, so the next thing is once you have created all these tools, then you can, what you can do is you can go here and you can go into Toolchest and then say manage tool sets. In that manage tool set, there are a few things you can do. So if somebody sends you a tool set as a file, then you can just import and point to that file. Okay, so this is like the one we created, A2K. So this is one of those tool set that we just created just now. So it's just a BTX file you can just import from there. Or if you want to select any tool set that you created and want to export to someone, you can also say export. To just say you want to save the tool sets before you want to do, but that's fine. Yes, and yes. So now I can send it to the network drive, or send it to the Outlook or something, and they can double click on the file automatically, and then automatically it will come in your Bluebeam. Or you can just go into here and say import and add as well. So just by double clicking, it will also work. But if it's like a network location where everybody has to use the same tool sets so that it can be standardized, then the next thing to do is adding. This is what I usually prefer to do all the time, is to add your location. So you can add your location like this. And if it is an existing tool sets, you can go to existing and then select path and point to the location where your tool sets are kept. Okay, and that way everybody could be working from the same location in your network. So that's a good way to do. What I'm also going to do is import one of our existing tool sets into my current tool chest. So I'm going to go here and say manage tool sets and import. And I believe I've got there's something called BlueBurst demo. There's a tool chest here. I'm just trying to bring it into my computer. So once I click it here, it's already here. Okay. So if I want to bring it up again, go all the way, and maybe make it a second one. Just there, and that's your new, just like I just created that. Okay. So then, if you want to be able to see them all the time, you may want to then go and into profile, and here save profile. Okay, you can save it into a profile as well. Okay, so that's what you can do. The other one that is quite useful in creating is something called snapshot. So you can also take a snapshot of your PDF and make it into a tool set tool as well. So to do that, you have to go to Edit, there's something called snapshot. Let's say I want to make this column as a snapshot. So click here. And now I'll just paste it into my drawing. That's the one. Okay. So I can now bring it to my tool sets. But before bringing them, I might just want to change the color to be slightly different than what it is right now. So I'm just going to do is I'm going to change the color of the snapshot. And then it gives you the option to change what to what. So I'll just say source color is black, change that to a red. I also like to make them transparent ones, if possible. Sometimes if there's any background to it or something, you can change this background and make it as a transparent as well. And that's how it looks like in the drawing. So press OK. Now you can give it a subject here, and then go and then add to Toolchest. I'm going to add to the same location here. Yes, that's fine. Okay, so this markup tool is here. Sorry, so I can now click on this and add to my drawings again. Okay, that's how you can take a snapshot and then put it into make it as a markup. You can take a picture out of your surface tablet or something, and then use it as a markup as well. Okay, it could be anything. So once you put all these markups into the drawings, then what you can do is create a legend. There are a few ways of creating a legend. You can just highlight whatever you want to create a legend, then right click and then say legend and create a new legend. That's one way. The other way I like to use as well is this one, and then go into create legend and create a new legend. Okay. So it will, whatever the tools are inside this tool chest, it will create a legend out of them, and you can put it anywhere on the drawing where you have some space. Okay. I might just clean this one up. And create my legend. So that's your legend. I can change the way it looks by going into the properties tool and maybe changing the table style instead of outline, maybe to grid line. Sorry. And then change the width to 1. Okay, so it looks a bit more clear. You can, if you want, you can change the color of the line, and you can change the headings of what you want to get. For example, you can get different, so unit and quantity and all this stuff is here. So you can get like whatever you want here. So that's about it. Okay, so that's it. And the one thing that I usually do with my Toolchest is, rather than sending someone an email with an attachment, what I do is I save the Toolchest as a file, and then attach that file in the PDF itself. But to attach the file, you can always go through here, file attachment, or you can go through tools and file attachment. Okay, then go to the desktop where I had already saved my Toolchest, which is this one, A2K demo toolsets, and I press open. And so I don't know what's going on there. So I can then put it as with a file name, and say file name, and say click here. Okay, so that means I can attach my tool sets already in the PDF itself. So what happens is, like, next time somebody opens this drawing, he doesn't have tool sets or whatever, he just double clicks on this, and the Toolchest then is loaded here left-hand side. As an example, if I do something like this, it will ask me, you may either open the file at an local location to save the file to this, only open a save, say open. So the only information it's giving me is my tool sets are already there. So I already got the tool sets. Do you want to override? If you say yes, it will just say, okay. So this one is automatically here. Okay. So this is an easy way of sending anyone a Toolchest. That way you don't really need to send them as a separate file. I usually keep it in the PDF itself. And if you even after a long time, things can move around, but if you put it in the PDF itself, then you can always get it back. Okay, so this is Bluebeam in action, so Review in action. So the name of the company is Bluebeam, name of the software is Review. Okay, so we will have a lot of different BlueBurst session like this one in future. So these workflows for Toolchest are very effective for markup standard. If you want to sign into next BlueBurst sessions, please visit this website at the bottom, which looks like this, and then just sign yourself in. And the next one, I think, is this one is going to be something else. This one was for I think the next one is for the markup standards or something like that. So this one is just for the Toolchest. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'm more than happy to answer them for you. And the next thing is to access the free Bluebeam Review Toolkit, scan our QR code. So if you want to take a screenshot of this, you can also access the free Bluebeam Review Toolkit as well. So I'll just leave it on the screen, and please let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so if looks like there are no questions today. If that's the case, I will sign out, and thank you once again for your time, and hopefully you will register to our next Bluebeam webinars. That's going to be next week. Thank you.